What's going on, family? We are officially on the journey to 1 million subscribers, and my team and I are giving away $30,000 to help you pay off your consumer debt. That's right. 3 E3 community members will each get $10,000 to wipe out their consumer debt. Now, do you want in? It's simple. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my email list by going to anthonyoneal.com and clicking on the Join the Community tab. That's 100% it. Check this out. At 940,000 subscribers, we're surprising one lucky person live on my show with the first $10,000, and we're going to give that person a financial makeover before paying off their debt. So, before we get to today's show, hit that subscribe button and let's hit it 1 million strong before my birthday, July 1st. All right? Love you all. Let's get to the show.
No rash decision. As you teach folks a lot, any financial decision that is driven by emotion is probably not a wise one in the long term.
Even those people who are kind of on a hot seat, they're still looking at investments because they're using it as an opportunity for offense. The reward will be higher later. You just got to choose if that's how you want to live your life or not. But the reward, I believe, so the reward will be higher later.
What are some trends? What are some things that you are seeing that's working in?
Yep.
Once you show your lender something, they can't unsee it.
Correct. Yeah.
So like if you present something to me that is in a negative, you're gonna have to work about 3 times harder for me to overlook it. Have y'all ever worked with people and they lied to you all about their situation and y'all are there to help them out?
All day and twice on Sunday.
Are you serious? What's going on, family? Welcome back to the table, and it's your boy Ayo. And listen, man, I am on a mission, a 10-year mission to be specific, to empower our community. You see, by 2025, we aim to eradicate $500 million in debt and build over $250 million in wealth in the Black community. And today, we're talking about one of the most powerful tools to get there, and that's home ownership. Now, why is this important? You see, because owning a home isn't just about having a place to live. It's about building wealth, generational wealth at that. Right now, Black home ownership sits at only 44 to 45%, even after a recent uptick compared to over 72% for white households. That's a nearly 30-point gap that hasn't budged in decades. And it matters because you see, Black wealth currently amounts to barely 15% of white wealth. Much of that gap comes down to who owns homes and who doesn't. We feel the urgency because every year that passes, this gap is in another year or our community falls behind. But here's the hope. By taking action right now, we can change this story for the next generation. You see, now is the time to bet on yourself, on your family, and on your community. Let's close this home ownership gap and start building the legacy our grandchildren will thank us for. You see, this mission is personal, it's possible, and it's urgent. So, coming up next, I want you to get equipped and you're going to take some action because on today's show, we're equipping you with knowledge and tools to make this vision a reality. Now, I'm really excited because today's going to be a mashup, and in today's show, we're going to cover a few things. Number one, Trump's executive orders and your money. What recent policy moves mean for you and your financial future? The real estate investing game today. How can you start or scale your journey in property homeownership right now? The tools to buy your first home, practical resources and tips to help you get those keys in hand. And also, what are lenders really looking for today in 2025? So we have some insider insights on how to qualify for the best home loans and rates. Listen, I want you to get ready for an eye-opening conversation today because by the end of this episode, you'll not only understand why homeownership is vital to building wealth, but you'll have a game plan to start building wealth and breaking the chains today. So let's dive in, let's get locked in, and let's get excited. And let's get to today's show. Listen, you're one move away from creating generational wealth, and it begins today at the table, right here, right now. What would you all say to the individuals who are a little nervous? right now with Doge, with this administration, what would you say that they need to do when it comes to the housing market? Let's say this particular individual was prepared to buy a home, and now they're like saying, I don't know, I better not. Or I have a home, but it might be too much home if I get let go. Should I sell? Real quick, give us 2 or 3 things that they should really consider asking themselves before making a drastic decision.
Yeah, I think for one, no rash decisions. As you teach folks a lot, any financial decision that is driven by emotion is probably not a wise one in the long term.
Yes, sir.
Look at all the data around you. Look at your actual financial plan. Look at how much time you've got, how much runway you've got in the worst case scenario, and make decisions based off of that, not off of a lot of outside media noise or just fear that's driven. Because folks who can win in a fearful environment are the folks who have been prepared. So, we are having simultaneous convos of some investors, some speculative individuals that are asking the question, how can I win right now? And those are the folks, again, that have had cash, that have a plan, and understand where their total budget, allotment, and lifestyle can go to accomplish those financial goals of real estate. So my first piece of advice is just hold fast on making a rash decision and double back down on your plan, your budget, and that safety net that you've got before you make any swing in one direction or the other.
Yeah, even those people who are kind of on a hot seat, they're still looking at investments because they're using it as an opportunity for offense. Saying, well, let this offense protect me. Like, sometimes a good offense beats defense, right?
Yes.
So they're saying, let me buy more property, let me get more cash flow, let me build up more equity. That way I can protect myself in case something does go awry.
Yeah. One of the things I've been telling people, 2 great things. I hope you all are listening to this. Because, both of those are solid. I think my thing, if I was to add on to that, is to double back on what you said. Now is the time to not make a rash decision, but to make an impactful decision, and that is go ahead and make sure that you have at least 3 to 6 months inside your savings account. And when I say 3 to 6 months, I want you to focus down on 3 to 6 months of your net pay, right? Just focus on getting that safety net built, so that way when life happens, if that's this year or next year, you're prepared for it. I'm scared about selling an asset quickly. I'm scared about getting rid of something that can produce income and go towards my net worth and my future because of the fear of losing out because of this administration. One thing I have learned about this administration is they talk a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of action though. I've seen a whole lot of executive orders, but I haven't seen a whole lot of Congress saying stamp approve.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes we listen to things and we make a rational decision and boom, it doesn't even happen.
Yeah. I think being prepared is, like you said, it's the most important thing. And so real estate is just one piece of the pie. Having your ducks in a row, having your 3 to 6 months saved up.
Yeah.
Whether you buy real estate this year or next year, like, there's an order to it.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's one thing in front of you. It's decent and in order, as the good word says, right? So we want to make sure that, hey, you got your money saved up before you go and buy a house. Like, don't go buy a house and you're on E. That's not a good idea. That's not fiscally responsible.
I want to get a home. And I want to get a home that I can rent out. If I buy a home, because you said something earlier, you may not make any money that first year. Are you saying that I may not get anyone in the home to rent for the first year? Or are you just saying that it will not be profitable in renting because you may have to do some tune-ups to the house, etc.? Like, is it still a good market, especially in the DMV area, to go get a home, to buy as an investment property, to buy as a rental property? And if I buy that home, am I sitting on that home for a while with no one renting it? Like, are people still looking to rent in today's day and time?
Oh, people are renting all day. So that's not the problem. The problem that I would be concerned about is that if I am buying a home and I'm expecting that if I rent that entire home out for it to cover all of the expenses and have some profit at the end, I think that can be difficult. That can be more difficult.
Okay.
I think if you are looking for ways to reduce your burn on the house, right? And you have an English basement, or you have a walkout basement, or it's a multifamily, or you just have roommates, right? You just have roommates. Those are ways to reduce your costs. And obviously, the more doors you have, the more creative you're willing to be, the more you're able to reduce your expenses in home. So if you're young and out of college and you're cool with, you still living frat life, right? And you got 4 bedrooms and you stay in one of them. I stayed in the smallest bedroom in my house.
Are you serious?
I stayed in the smallest bedroom in my house and I rented the biggest bedrooms out. $1,200, $900. I did that before, right? Could I do it now? No. That'd be really difficult.
Bro, you got me thinking like, dang, I could rent out my entire basement. I won't like it though.
You wouldn't like it though. So lifestyle does play a major factor in that. But if you're willing to take a little bit of a risk, right? In the sense of, hey, this is a little bit tighter than I want to, a little bit of lifestyle cramp, if you will, the reward will be higher later. You just got to choose if that's how you want to live your life or not. But the reward, I believe in real estate, so the reward will be higher later.
I'll be thinking, man, I'm like, oh my gosh. But one of the things one of my mentors said, man, he doesn't look at his rental properties as cash flow within the first 5 years. He says, this is a wealth play for me. It's a net worth play for me. Right. To where, okay, what is your strategy? Get someone in there, fix up the home, get it right, get it stable. 5 years from now, okay, how much money am I making off of that house? But the first 5 is like, let's get someone in there, let's clean it up, let's make sure everything was good. But he was like, that just go towards my net worth. Yeah. And he was like, it's not a monthly play. But he says, but now, I think he has a little over 100 situation. He was like, yeah, now I'm making, $30,000, $40,000 a month off of my rental properties. He was like, but I bought these homes close to 10, 15, 20 years ago.
That's it.
Yeah. But he was like, so now I got the profit, but he said, I think people come in looking, well, if I could buy this house, babe, we can make an extra $3,000. And then they'll get the extra $3,000 on top of the rent, but then the house broke down. Now they got to put that money back into the home.
Absolutely. Man.
He was like, so I don't even get excited on my new properties. He says, man, I don't even see the income on my new properties. I asked because he has a person who works his houses, okay, what all needs to go into the house? Yeah. And he'll do, all right, put that money in, let that cash flow. So he says, what I do not do, I won't go in there and pay for it out of pocket. Right. If it's something major, he was like, I'll pay for it out of pocket. But if it's something that can be fixed over time, okay, cool. As we get the money in the account, let's go fix it. Right. And he said, I'm very intentional about it. Like, my renters don't have to ask me to come fix it. Well, we already know what needs to be fixed. Right. So we're going to come in there and just fix it and show our renters like, yo, we value you. We appreciate you. But at the end of the day, while they're renting the house, it's still my house. Right. And I still want my house to be in good standings, because if I wait for a problem, it's just going to be a more expensive problem down the road. 1,000%. So I was like, okay. And so now I'm just like, but man, with 7%, Ron, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hey man, don't let the numbers. Here's what I'm gonna say. And take out politicals left and rights. I believe the next 4 years might be one of the greatest wealth building opportunities in real estate that we will see in our lifetime. And I'm not, obviously we're not going into the politics. I stand on a certain way or however, but now that we're here, now that we are where we are, right. Show me the money. I think there's going to be an amazing opportunity for wealth building in real estate over the next 4 years. I really, truly do. Wow. Yeah, and I'm excited. Like I'm getting ready. Like you said, I'm preparing my coffers. Yep. Right? I'm getting it right. Yep. And so we're going to take advantage of these opportunities.
That's the last question I want to talk about with you all is how can this millennial generation, Gen Z generation, and specifically people of color take advantage of the 2025 trends the next 4 years of this life? How can we take advantage of the season that we're in? Oftentimes we see people complaining about the season. Oftentimes we see on social media, like, oh my God, da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, y'all are crazy. This is why y'all are broke. Because we want to complain about this and complain about that rather than sitting down and figure out, okay, cool, great. I don't like this. I don't need to talk about that anymore. How do we broke? What do y'all suggest when it comes to the real estate market? What are some trends? What are some things that you are seeing that's working in the real estate economy that we should start doing research on and looking into possibly doing for ourselves?
Real quick, your point of people looking and complaining about all of the problems at once and using a different excuse at a different time to not participate is why they're never really going to get anywhere. So I think as we look at the challenges that face our market now, if we look at a place like DC proper, where we've got some of our neighborhoods that have seen values go down a little bit because of reduced demand, that presents an opportunity, especially with some of the single family products. I'm talking a townhouse with a basement apartment. We had one of our agents showing a under $400,000 completely renovated townhouse with a basement apartment. And as you look at that product in the city, you say, okay, for today, is that interest rate gonna make that cost a little bit more than it did a few years ago? Yes. But is the rental return on what I could get for that still pretty strong and only have the potential to go up with time? Also, yes. So I'm gonna choose to say, if I make that lifestyle adjustment choice to maybe pay a little bit more than I felt like I should, or my emotions told me that I should be paying for this product, but I have the opportunity to own that with time. It's both an equity and net worth play that maybe is not gonna have those immediate cash flow returns that we would love to see, but it has got the longer vision and the understanding that in terms of product being delivered in all cities and cities proper, single family is the last thing they're building. Say that again. Almost every city, the last thing that is getting built in terms of new product is single family. Building apartments, building condos, building multifamily. There's not enough dirt to build a single family in a lot of cities, especially a place like DC that's smaller. So if I can own that, even if the cost to acquire it is a little bit higher, my ownership horizon being longer and the equity opportunity that I can play is the right way to think about it.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just believe in the fundamentals. So learn the fundamentals and believe in them. So if the fundamentals say, hey, look, I need to buy the home at this price, you know, for this amount, and I'm looking for this type of home, like, that's what you look for. And then once you see those opportunities, you gotta move. Like, you can't sit around.
Here is the truth. I am always looking for practical ways to help you build, right, wealth, specifically generational wealth and legacy. And one of the best ways you can do that is with life insurance. That's why I partner with my friends at Ethos. They made buying life insurance simple and hassle-free. Whether you're the main provider for your family or want to make sure your loved ones aren't left with financial burdens like debt, life insurance is a powerful way to provide financial security. As a business owner and a homeowner, I took this seriously and secured a $2 million life insurance policy through Ethos. Why? Because having a peace of mind, knowing my family will be cared for when I'm no longer here, is extremely priceless. What I love about Ethos is their quick and straightforward process. You can apply entirely online in as little as 10 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. I did it myself. Listen, no medical exams, just a few health questions that you must answer honestly. Plus, it's affordable, making it easier to protect your family without breaking the bank. Listen, I want you to lock in your rate today by visiting anthonyoneal.com/life insurance or click the link below to get your personalized free quote today. Listen, as we're getting back to the show, I want you to protect your loved ones. Don't play around with it. Be like me. I promise you. It's a hard conversation to have, but you will sleep peacefully knowing that you took care of your family. Go to anthonyoneal.com/life insurance. Let's get back to the show to help you keep building this wealth.
So what are some tools? Because some people right now saying, okay, cool, I'm not ready to buy today, but I want to watch the market and I want to watch things go. What are some practical tools that people can use? Let's say to even, here it is. How do we know what the interest rate is today? Like, is there a tool that we can download that I need to download it right now myself, because I hate having to text Keith, right? Hey, what's the interest rate right now, right? Or text my bank. Are there any tools that can help me along this journey of maybe tracking my interest rate? I can know how much I can take the interest rate, go to a legit calculator that can give me a ballpark figure of what I might be looking at. I want to give some people some practical tools to start off the year 2025.
Yeah, and that's a good point too, because a lot of people, when they're looking at Redfin, when they're looking at Zillow, when they're looking at these websites that properties are on, it gives a monthly payment, and that monthly payment, about 95 to 99% of the time, is inaccurate. Very inaccurate.
Because they don't calculate a lot of things in that thing.
Absolutely. So it is important. I actually like the Zillow mortgage calculator.
Yeah, me too.
Like the Zillow mortgage calculator, where you can put your numbers in, and you can also put in how much money you want to put down.
Yes.
And you can Google the market interest rate, right? and put that in there.
Okay.
And it spits out your monthly payment and your cash to close.
Okay.
So if you're putting 3% down versus 10% down, if you're trying to weigh that option, it'll tell you your cash to close to a T. And what else? They just added a tool on that calculator. It tells you, because of the interest rate, the higher the interest rate, the more tax savings you get because you're paying interest, right?
Yeah.
It even tells you how much you're going to save in a year on taxes.
Okay.
Which is super cool.
The amortization chart. And one thing I would say, pro tip, when you're looking at any online mortgage calculator, make sure you're looking at the details and the assumptions in the cash out of pocket and monthly payment. Because what they will default to is having people put 20% down or a higher down payment. That'll get you hyped and be like, oh, monthly payment's not too bad. What is the cash out of pocket? So just make sure if you're looking at something and doing your own calculation, on your own playing around, look at down payment amount, look at the monthly payment, and also look at interest rate. Because a lot of times, Anthony, the assumption that they're going to make is that the interest rate for that online calculator that you click to without putting your information in, it's going to show a slightly lower than market rate a lot of times to get people hyped because they want you to apply. Once you apply, they're going to adjust that rate based on your risk factors or what the actual rate from that day is. So take it with a grain of salt. I, as a rule of thumb, will round up the rate I see on any public site by at least 1/4 of a point. Because that's showing you kind of the closer to kind of par rate without anybody paying money to get the lower rate. So make sure you know the down payment and make sure you round up on the rate that they show you, because a lot of the websites are great for the calculator, but they're also marketing and sales tools. So they're going to show you something that's more exciting to try to get you to go to the next step if you're not engaged with a realtor or lender yet.
Harrison, you said something that I think people might skip over. I pay attention to words. You said rate for that day.
Yeah.
Today is January 1st. You're trying to tell me January 2nd, that rate can change?
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Especially with what's about to happen in terms of a new administration being in place. The market responds to risk factors, both macro and micro. So whenever you've got big events, a lot of times Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we'll get new job reports. We'll get new things from the Fed, new announcements. The market most of the time bakes in what the interest rate will be a few days ahead of that. But if you've looked on a Monday and you were making assumptions to do a math on a Monday and you don't write a contract or don't go for a property till Friday, you normally need to double check because there will be some volatility and changes in market rates through a week. That's a real thing.
So Keith, the deal that we're looking at getting in, I want to get the lowest interest rate. Would you suggest to me and to everyone that listening else to get with the realtor? And if you know you're seriously interested about that, go get an approval today. Let's say if I get a pre-approval today. And the interest rate is at, for an example, 5% today. But it goes up to 5.25% tomorrow.
Right.
Am I paying 5.25% tomorrow?
If you lock in tomorrow, yes. So if you get an approval and the lender says, okay, you can lock in right now at that 5%, well, you can lock in at that 5%. But you have to have a ratified contract, meaning the seller and us have agreed on that contract to lock that in.
So I'm not locked in because I got a pre-approval from the bank?
Absolutely not.
It's a snapshot.
That's a snapshot.
Snapshot.
Yep. So rates drop at 9 a.m. on the East Coast, Eastern time, at 9 a.m. every morning, right? So lenders can look at the rates. So when the lender go look at the rates, because you got an approval letter, and that's another thing that people get confused about, because when lenders send out the approval letter, they put an interest rate on there, right? And gets people hyped. But that, if you haven't locked in, if you don't have a ratified contract to lock that interest rate, meaning the lender is calling Wall Street to lock that interest rate in, then you're not locked in. That's not your interest rate.
And see, we all get confused because we got the pre-approval letter.
Absolutely. It's in writing. It's on paper.
It's in writing. And then two, every time I call, when we bought stuff, I was like, yo, what's my payment going to be? So now I made a decision off of that house because of that payment, but that payment is not locked in until I have a ratified contract.
Correct.
Once I have a ratified contract, then my lender can give me my actual payment.
Absolutely.
Based upon those numbers and the money I'm going to put down and the money I'm bringing to closing.
Absolutely. A binding contract.
A binding contract. Once you show your lender something, they can't unsee it.
Correct.
So like if you present something to me that is in a negative, you're going to have to work about 3 times harder for me to overlook it. I won't forget it, but I can overlook it, but you got to provide some other documents. And so I think it's important for us to educate, especially people of color.
Absolutely.
Hey, before you present that, present it to your realtor first.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people will go and get a pre-approval and come to you. But then it's like, wait, maybe I should talk to my realtor and explain your... You see, I'm about to get in trouble.
Good, man.
You good? You good?
But I think I'm about to get in trouble, man, because black people be funny. You ever seen like a lawyer? You're paying the lawyer to represent you.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna lie to the man.
Yeah.
Mislead the man
Yeah.
who you're paying to represent you.
Correct.
To help you get free.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever worked with people and they lied to you all about their situation and y'all are there to help them out?
All day and twice on Sunday.
Are you serious?
Thing. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Why?
Fear.
Fear of what? Because you all have all the knowledge and wisdom to where you can be like, bet I got it. I know how to get around
Got
it.
a solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it could be like, okay, bet we're gonna pause, but you need to go fix this.
Yeah. 100%.
Why are people so fearful to tell you? I can see the bankers.
Right.
But if I'm paying y'all 3%, that's a lot of money.
100. Yeah. 100.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth.
Yeah.
So we can get into this thing and I ain't wasting nobody's time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Help the people.
This not even a real estate conversation. It's life. It's a life. Our mission statement is be the bridge to our community for all things real estate, lifestyle, and wealth building, right? And this is part of that lifestyle. So, Anthony, you got to think about this, man. Growing up, we didn't sit at the table and talk about money. So anytime, actually, money was a secret.
Facts.
Right? How much you make, what are you doing with your money, the tools, the resources that you need to present to help you make more money. We didn't talk about that, right? We weren't vulnerable. And so nowadays, you do have some people that scared to tell you how much they make, scared to tell you their credit score. A lot of people lean on Credit Karma. What people don't know is if you're looking at Credit Karma, that's not actually your credit score. That's actually not a real thing. Like Credit Karma is super, it's your consumer score, it's super inaccurate. So, you have people that are scared to talk about money. And I lean on the side of being vulnerable with what I have going on with my business. Anthony, I want you to be able to come and poke holes in my business and tell me, hey, I think you should do this.
Yeah.
And as a culture, if we continue to do that, be vulnerable with our business, be vulnerable with, the money that we're making and the resources that we have, we're going to be better off, man. And we're going to have a community of abundance.
I feel like the shame is an unfortunate part of it too. And I'm gonna blame social media. I'm gonna sound old right now. Social media, because we spend so much time looking at the snapshots and highlights of other people's lives.
Absolutely.
Not realizing that in the trenches, in the dark, on the other side, people had to work through some stuff. Be where they at.
Yeah.
Say it.
Be where they at.
Yeah.
When we are working towards a goal and you have a higher goal, especially with something you have not done before, the shame should not be a part of it. And I think that's what's helped us find a lot of success with folks, is leveling with them and saying, if I'm a part of your team and you have this goal you have set to accomplish, we got to put it all out there. We'll find solutions because it's going to come out. It's going to come out. So you get, and there's this other mindset too that I've struggled with sometimes, where people come in with the assumption that they will have to finesse or find an alternative path to do what they want. Wow. And this is powerful about our partnership. I'm always like, no, here is the right, compliant, and straight way to do it.
Yeah.
But I think just because of the history between racism, folks not having access to the actual rules of money, folks assume that the only way I can do it is if I finesse.
Yes.
But in this world we in now, especially in a world where there's so many financial tools that are created by all the big banks to try to get more black and brown ownership, try to get more people within the banking system, within like standard structures and systems, as long as you know the rules, as long as you have the right coach and the right people around supporting you, you don't have to finesse. Like you don't have to finesse. And I think telling people that with confidence and saying that like there is no shame, there's no judgment on my side. I'm not going to judge you. What we talk about stays within this circle. But if I'm on your team, we all got to know, and we'll find a solution. This is going to come out later. It's going to come out later.
And a lot of agents don't create that space for their client to be vulnerable. Right?
For real.
That's a problem for me. I tell my clients, hey, I want to be your thought partner. I want to create a space for you so you can feel comfortable being vulnerable with me about your finances and everything else, right? Because I want to help you.
Right.
So that's another thing, man. That fear is super, because let's be real, this is probably going to be the biggest purchase that they've made thus far in life.
Facts.
Most money.
Right? The most money they've ever spent thus far in life.
Yeah.
Right? And so there is no, I say, the margin for error. There is no margin for error, right? And we understand that. But communication is the key. And the more we know, the better we can help.
Clarity is power, right?
Clarity is power.
One of the reasons why I like the Coalition Group, and I say this often on every show, and I'm gonna keep saying it, was when I first met you, Keith. Man, you didn't know of me from Adam and Eve. I'm pretty sure you heard of me, and I think you said you heard of me.
Yeah.
But how you first greeted me, Zoom call, PowerPoint presentation with education. Then you said, "Ayo, tell me the real. Where are you? What's going on with your finances? And exactly what are you trying to do?" And I love the part because you educated me first on what's happening in the market, what's happening in the DMV. Anthony, you want to stay away from this stuff? You want to go over here in this area. If you go into this area, here's what you're looking at. Boom, what are you looking like? And I think if more realtors did that,
Yeah.
rather than just saying, "Hey, I need a pre-approval," you didn't ask them about a pre-approval letter. You didn't do none of that. You was like, "Hey, how can I best serve you and help you?"
Absolutely.
And that created the trust that now when I think about anything real estate, it's coalition. I don't like, we even have a mutual real estate friend who I'm really cool with. I love her dearly, but she was like, "Hey, I can work." I said, "You already know." And I love her, right? You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
man.
But I'm like, she didn't create that comfort for me. Keith and Coalition Group did. So even if let's say something tragically happened to you, I'm just going over here to your people because I know what I'm gonna get over here.
Absolutely.
There's a safe space over here.
And I appreciate that.
No, that's real. And I don't get paid. They don't pay me, yo. They don't give me no check, not yet.
You can't afford them.
But it's like, I think this is important, a conversation to have, because I was talking to my homegirl, man, and she was like, "Hey, yo, like, she telling me that she made 60,000, but her paycheck stub is saying that she makes 42. So that's a drastic difference.
Yeah.
When we submit it to underwriting, wait, we got you pre-approved off of 60, not off of 40.
Right.
This brings down how much house you can afford.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's like, then she tells me something else.
Surprise debt, something else.
Right. She said, I forgot what she said. I'm trying to make sure I don't put everything out there to reveal who she is, because I'm going to respect that privacy, right? But I was like, the conversation was, she's like, how come she just didn't tell me the truth? Because if she told me the truth, I can direct us a different route to where these are not a burden and we're not getting pushback. But now we're getting pushback because you didn't tell me the truth.
Yeah. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
It does. And I'm like, why, people? Like, they gonna get 2 to 3% of your money. I'm running everything through them. Hey, man, listen here, man. It's cold outside. I don't feel like paying that. You know what, man? I don't like him. I don't like him. So you know what? Offer him $5,000 cheaper.
Remember when I told you, I said, man, you can call me the vent too, man. If you need to vent, man, go through this process. Because I know you moving up here, man. Just give me a call, man.
Man, listen. I mean, why not? Because I'm buying my house.
Yeah.
You're making good money off of helping me with this situation. And you want the realtor that is going to create that space and be honest. And I want to encourage you all, even if it's not the Coalition Group, man, this is good. Set your realtor up to win for you.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we'll get upset with y'all, but it wasn't y'all's fault.
Yeah.
We set y'all up to fail.
Yeah.
We gave you
Hey, listen, you just hit a nerve right there. Oh my God, bro.
AO, some of our best communication strategies with clients came out of therapy with our partners,
Yep.
with our families.
Yep.
Because legit, some of the closest and most intimate relationships require trust and communication.
Yes.
And I think with years and all the folks we've helped over time, we've heard the different things that folks have brought to us. So there's literally, when you work with somebody that's experienced, it's not about shame.
Yeah.
It's not about like somebody judging you, right?
Yeah.
And if they are, if you feel that judgment, that's not the right relationship, right?
Absolutely.
Like, we want to have it all out there, and we want to build that space for this concept of fiduciary.
Yeah.
You got other fiduciaries in your life. Talk about your CPA, your attorney, other folks.
Yeah.
High-level real estate service is about fiduciary. Yeah. Fiduciary means all the variables, all the information, the solutions, or the pivot, the other choice. That's it.
That's it.